All right, welcome back, everybody. Today is Monday. I'm getting ready for my log session today, but you guys are joining me for last week, my full week of training. I'm going to do a little bit less commentary. There's some clips that I kind of want to just let play. I'm going to touch on a few different things that maybe I was thinking about, or times where I was pushing myself and kind of just touching on what my goals were. Um, Apologies for getting this out a little bit later. Weekend got away from me. I had a whole bunch of hockey, and uh, I was just being lazy. I just got away from me. So my apologies. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna roll into the training footage, and then I'll just cut it. I'm not gonna do an outro for this. So thank you for watching. Thanks for joining me. If there's anything more you want to see from my training, any more like different movements, or any more opinions I have on training, diet, my history, my plans for the future, maybe some of my larger goals, or some of your goals you want to share. Please do. In the comments, you can leave a comment on you know goals that you have, or how you're getting into strongman or something like that. You can also follow my Instagram. It's my same as my YouTube, at bailey.strongman. So yeah, let's jump into the training footage. Okay, this is my Monday session. As you can tell by the log and hitting the smelling salts, this is my heavy pressing day. So I was going for triples on the log. I believe I had 2 sets of 3 programmed, and this should be about 220. Fairly decent weight for me. I believe my PR on log is about 245. So getting this weight for a triple was very nice. The first couple, I think this first rep was a bit sticky. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so you see there, it kind of just gets away from me, but I definitely clean it up the rest of this set. Except I think I'm lying. Yeah, that one I was walking forward. Certainly could have fought it like I did that first rep, but just wasn't in the cards. I knew I had a second set to really solidify the weight. But the weight felt really good. It felt really, really smooth. The dip and drive is something that I've never really had a problem with. It's always kind of just been my tricep lockout power, which is why I do so much work this offseason with the bench and the floor press and my strict press. Anything I can do to work on pressing out maximal weights is what's going to help me in these movements here. Pretty excited about that one. Then I drop back. There's a bit more volume. This is 175. So taking the sleeves off, just trying to really pump these out. You can see I'm not pushing my head through. Just trying to get the volume in. And work on that overhead stability. All aspects of the log press. As I said, I think last week, log is always going to be in strongman. It may not be in every show, but it's always going to be there. You always got to be ready for it. So you can see there, get a little bit of a hold. And that was good. Then I moved on to my close grip low incline. This looks to be 200 maybe. Yes, 200, because I think I did 195 last week, and then just wanted to beat my 3 rep by 5 pounds here. So starts getting a little sticky. Or did I do 5 reps? Holy smokes, I did 5 reps. Wouldn't you know? But again, yeah, this felt really good on the triceps. Same thing as I was just saying. Trying to get as much volume and maximal load on the triceps as possible to assist my overhead pressing power. You'll see later in this week, I jump over to front squats for my maximal squat movement. Those should really help all aspects of my pressing, all aspects of strongman, and yeah, I'll touch on that a bit more. Some more volume here, 175, 2 sets of, I believe, 6 to 8. Yeah, again, just pumping up the triceps, get the chest involved, and obviously the front delts. Okay, so let me move over to one of my favorite tricep accessories. This is an SSB JM press with chains. So you can see there at the top, it is very unstable, which is making me have to work really hard just to even hold it there. So then I come down and I use the natural shape of the SSB to guide me into that JM press motion. It's a bit awkward and kind of hard to get into, but if you use the SSB, it basically forces you into that position. And especially after doing so much overhead tricep work, doing something where I'm, a bit more bench supported and can put my triceps at a different angle is always good. So then I did these Zercher SSB kind of power shrugs, and holy man, did I go too heavy on these. So I put an extra 100 pounds plus the 45-pound bar, and I believe that's 80 pounds of chain. So I don't want to put this in here to, you guys can watch me struggle. Let's just soak this in. There we go. We finally stood up. And the head hang of shame. So that was pretty dang heavy, so I took the chains off for this next set and just pumped them out. Again, I always put upper back work, some kind of back work in on my pressing days because, yes, obviously I'm working chest, I'm working triceps, I'm working front delts. But if you don't have a big back, if you don't have a large upper back, then that weight has no support. There's nothing behind it. So that's why, especially in strongman, or for all aspects of pressing power, you need to be doing lots of back work. And then we move over to my Tuesday. Tuesday is volume squat day. So I'm doing some more dynamic work on the SSB to a low box. As you can see there, I've got, what do we got there? 220, 40, 60, 265, maybe? 265 of straight weight. And then about 70, 80 odd pounds of band at the top. And so you can see here on the SSB, I don't have any of the handles on it. So what that does is it kind of just forces you to just stabilize the bar. You can't really grab the handles and push up or pull down to put the weight in a different spot. You kind of just have to ride it out, and it's going to sit where it's going to sit, and it's going to force you to work a lot harder. So you can see there, I'm having to stay hunched over my upper back. It's having to round to work harder to hold that position and not have the SSB fly off my back. Jump up another 20 pounds here. The weight just felt good. I was going for my same usual doubles. So you can see here I put 20 pounds on and slow to the hole in that second one, but the explosive power at the top is certainly there. So then I made the terrible mistake of adding another 20 pounds. I really shouldn't have added this, but let's just watch. So yeah, moved okay. But then, the ultimate mistake. I do not know why this was so hard. But I took the bands off and I was going to go for one volume set. So I've got, what does that look to be? About 300? Say 305. This low box. You can see I'm moving my hands there in the SSB because I am like, oh my god, my back is on fire. Somebody help me. So I'm trying to just move the weight a little bit. And let's just listen to these last few reps. Yeah, so that set nearly did me in. And then we'll just talk about this. Move on to paused axle at 365. 385, excuse me. It was very hard to not jump to a higher weight. For whatever reason, when I'm pulling deadlifts, I just need to pull the most weight as I can. But these were good. Set of 5. Nice and smooth. Moved really well. Beltless. But sometimes, like that set of squats, you just need movements that maybe it's not the best thing you can do in terms of, like progressing or getting better, but to push your mental. One training method, that I have been wanting to do but putting off is the old super squat program. The one set of 20 on squats at whatever it is, 80% or 100% of your max squat or something ridiculous. And you just ride that out and you keep adding weight. I really think that could have good benefit, especially after doing a whole bunch of squats in my programming recently. I think I definitely could benefit from that. But kind of just being a bit of a puss and not wanting to do that. Anywho, Penlay rows with the axle. These, man, those SSB squats really took me out because these were much harder than they should have been. I did this first set fairly sloppy as a Penlay row. So the next set, I just jumped over and did some kind of regular barbell rows where I'm not going all the way down. I'm just kind of pausing at the knee and pulling back up. But this day overall was pretty good. Again, sometimes when your head's not in it, you just need to give yourself a slap across the face, put a bit more weight than you want on the bar, and do a few more reps than you want to do. And then it makes all that pain in your head go away, all that hurty in your head go away, and you realize that all that hurt's just in your head, and you just got to push it out. So, finished up the day with some landmine rows with the fat grip there, and then jumped into some hypers. So, I'll just show this last little bit, and then we'll jump over to my Thursday session. Okay, Thursday. We've got these. So I call them simulated floor press because whenever I try to do floor press on the ground, no matter what I put under my back, whether it be like my drop pads or another foam pad, something that is going to allow my scapula to move, it just absolutely wrecks my shoulder for like a couple weeks. So I found that these are kind of the best variation for me. Set the pins to around the height that your elbows would hit the floor, put the feet up on the bench, and try not to use them as much as possible. And then boom, you've basically got a floor press. So going for triples here, building up to a hard set of 3, and then trying to repeat that. So here I've got 55, 75, 195 plus I think 60 pounds of chain. Setting this chain up took me actually a little bit longer than I wanted it to because I wanted the chain to fully load and unload as I was going through. So mission accomplished, but boy was it hard. So like I was saying, for my Monday, I'm trying to get a lot of volume in with maximal tricep lockout power because it's not that systematically fatiguing. I'm really, whenever I get to the point where I'm starting to use, more chest or front delts, I try and cut it, except for, I guess, today, because you can see that set. Yeah, I was a little hyped up there. I try to just kind of cut it because that's not what my goal is. But then the smelling salts look at you and make you think that, well, you should probably hit a PR today. So this looks like 225 plus 60 pounds of chain. So about 285 at the top, which if we remember back, my bench PR was 270 with the Buffalo bar. So not sure what my head was thinking on this day. Obviously it was thinking maximally, and we will watch as I struggle with 1 rep. You can also see I've put my feet down now because I know I'm not getting this with my feet up. Drop down for the 2nd rep and completely forget my whole belief with training and fail miserably. But I wasn't actually that upset. I wasn't upset because I got 1 rep. I knew 2 reps was not going to be possible. But you don't know if you don't try. And yeah, this is kind of just same old for my pressing day. Did some strict press. This is 165. And then I think I dropped back to maybe 145 for some volume. And pretty simple press day. So let me move into my kind of finisher movement. I just wanted to show this because I don't really show too much in my accessories. So these, I call them rolling tricep extensions. I kind of saw these in the old, West Side training videos. So it's basically a skull crusher and kind of like a dumbbell bench hybrid. So you can see there, you just take the dumbbell and essentially roll it over your shoulder. And then press out. And if you need a little bit of assistance when you get into later sets, you can kind of roll it forward, get a bit of momentum, and then press it out. And then I'm supersetting these with chin-ups. You can see, obviously, it's not the cleanest. Damn it, I dropped my mic. You can see they're not the cleanest, but that's not the goal. My goal with chin-ups always is to keep the tension on the upper back and biceps. I don't love doing, sets of curls. So if I can do anything maximally that I know is going to grow my arms and back, we are going to stick to that. So you can see, I believe this was my 3rd set of this. So that was pretty difficult. Front squats. I don't have much to say. Front squats are amazing. If you're doing strongman, you need to front squat. I know it hurts. I know it's annoying. I know you can't breathe. But just stop being a bitch and go front squat. So let's play. Fuck off. Man, I'm getting fired up just watching this back. So I move over to snatch grip deadlifts, 405, 4 sets of 5. So on those front squats, I believe that top set was about 460, which I was talking about. One of my goals for the off season is 365 for a set of 3 on the front squat. So I'm just trying to get myself ready for that. And so if you listen to that clip, my top set of front squats, time to go to work, or show up. I don't really believe in the whole train till the death, or this is my life type of thing. Although this is my life, this is what I do in my free time. But I never like that mentality. I always just think it's not corny, but it's just kind of there's always something else you can focus on. There's always something else that is more important. But when you step into the gym, and this is why I don't think it's, corny or ironic or cringy even. When you step into the gym, you have to be a bit of a different person. You have to be a person that's willing to sacrifice some things, willing to put yourself through pain. Like front squats, they're not comfortable. They suck. Doing these bag loads, these bag picks, they suck. Everything sucks about this, but that's why all of us psychos like doing this stuff, because it sucks. You have to do difficult things to become, the person you want to be. Um, and I am just glad that I've understood that at the age of 20. Uh, and I'm pushing myself here in the gym, getting ready for all kinds of things, whatever life's going to throw my way, with the career I want to pursue. Speaking of things that are just a little dumb, is these touch and go high pulls. You might be looking at this and going, "Wow, that's stupid," and I would agree. But the upper back, the core, the whole body gets taxed when we do those. So if you're looking for something to do on a strongman day, that is going to build full body power, explosivity, strength, gusto, might, and just pure. I'm not going to say the word. And the last thing I did here on my strongman day, I wasn't too sure what to do, so finished with some core with these offset carries. So I've got a 50-pound dumbbell overhead, and that farmer's tank is 100 pounds even. And so, yeah, these obviously I could walk a lot faster. I could take bigger steps, but I'm trying to just put tension on the core and work those stabilizers. That is all for this week of training. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched the end, please let me know any other thoughts you had, comments you had. Shoot me a message. I'd love to chat with you guys. So thanks for watching.